Josh, Sean said that he had seen improvement in you from week 1 to week 2, things that aren't being talked about externally. Do you feel that way too, that there are things you did better between the 2 games that aren't for whatever reason being noticed?
Job of the quarterback is to put your team in position to score points and do whatever it takes to win a football game. And, that's what we did last week. And I don't really care what anybody else thinks. I care what the guys in the soccer room think. And, it's no secret that I didn't play great last game. I didn't play great the week before. And, stuff I'm working on. And just got to push through it and find ways to be better for this team.
Josh, is it just as simple maybe as some throws that you hit last year you're not hitting this year, that you're a human being and not a machine, and they're not all going to be completed every time?
Potentially. But again, there's ways I can help myself out there. But again, it's some tips here or there, things that don't go in your favor all the time. And that's football, and that's why we go out there and we play it. I want to be great. I want to be the best that I can be and the best quarterback I can be for this team, and I'm going to strive every day to be that guy.
Josh, you know about the relationship between Ron Rivera and Coach McDermott. As a player, how special is it to be a part of a game like that? 2 coaches know each other going head to head.
Relationships, brothers, this, that, here, there. So I know Coach learned a lot from him and everything I've heard about Coach Rivera. He's a great guy, and he's a great coach. So it's always tough playing against a great coach that's been in this league for a long time, that's had a lot of success, and we gotta go out there and execute.
Obviously, last year it wasn't easy. Obviously, nothing in the league comes easy, but you played so well, and your numbers were so great. Did you go into this year maybe expecting that it was going to be tougher because everyone now saw what you could do, what your teammates could do? Did you just think it was going to be maybe a tougher process this year?
Just because what we did last year doesn't mean it's going to carry over this year. So each week really is a different game plan. It's a different way to attack a different defensive scheme. We're going to find ways to move the ball and score ultimately. Try to go out there and execute the best that we can.
Trying to get done within your game, maybe where you're off a little bit or whatever? Is it based on your fundamentals, or is it something that other defenses are trying? Have you noticed a trend that they're trying to take things away from?
No, it's I got to find, like I said, ways to be better. So there's no secret to that, and whether it's finding a check down early and just trying to get into a rhythm, into a groove early on. But again, whatever it takes. Me throwing the ball 30 times, me handing it off 30 times. Whatever this team needs for me to do is what I'm going to do.
Any similarities between the Steelers front and some of what Washington does also?
Yeah, statistically last year they were very similar in terms of getting to the quarterback. They got some really good young players up front that are, they're first-round picks basically all the way around. Guys that can get after the ball. They got speed on the edges. They got a knack for getting the ball out. So from handoffs to stepping up in the pocket, just making sure we're good with ball security is going to be a big emphasis this week.
How important is being balanced when you're facing a team that can get after the quarterback like that? Last week offensively it was pretty much a 50-50 split, pass calls and run calls.
Yeah, it definitely forces the defensive line especially to play different things. They can't just pin their ears back and go. Forcing DBs and safeties to tackle, it's no easy task most of the time for them, especially when you got guys like, Devin and Zach running downhill, running hard. So, balance is it's never a bad thing.
Miami has 2 of the highest paid and better starting quarterbacks in the league, and you beat each one of them on a deep ball, first to Sanders and then to Diggs. What do you think that impact, the effect that has on defenses, what they see? You hope,
Yeah, we got guys that can go win. They can do it different ways. They can, intermediate, deep game, guys that just want the ball in their hands, and when you got a vet like E and a guy like Steph that they work extremely hard in practice, you guys see it. It's no surprise when they make plays like that.
The drive coming out of halftime, you mentioned after the game that was big, just to kind of get going in the right direction again. When you looked back on that on film, what went right on that possession in particular?
Good decisions, getting the ball out quick. Really not letting the defensive line affect that possession too much. Guys made plays. We got a face mask that helped us, with 15 yards. And then ultimately, I think that's when Dawson scored. So guys get open, guys make plays. We got a really good group here. The more times we can get the ball in their hands, the better.
Is that an example of maybe what you're talking about when you say find a rhythm? The type of execution within this offense, that particular drive, quick hits down the field, that sort of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's expected from us, and I've said it over, many times before. Just I demand so much of myself, and I want to execute at such a high level. When things aren't going the way, I get so frustrated with myself. So I got to find a way to keep going, be light for the guys, and be the best leader that I can be for this team. But that drive, just finding completions, letting guys make plays. Like I said, the more times we get the ball into our playmakers' hands, the better. You get, face mask. You can get a penalty some way, somewhere that helps us move the ball forward and skip some third downs and ultimately put the ball in the end zone. And that's what we want to do every drive, and that's the expectations that we have for ourselves and the standard that we hold ourselves to. So, again, that's our expectations right there.
Ryan was mentioning your conversations that you were having on Monday before he talked to the media. How much of a balance is he, because you're so hard on yourself, to be able to kind of counterbalance that with focusing on some of the good things you did?
Yeah, that's what coach is supposed to do, and he's one of the better ones in the league, if not the best one in the league. So I love him, and just he does so much for me, and he's helped me so much throughout my career so far. I'm glad I have a guy like that in my corner.
Would you ever consider the idea that being this much less hard on yourself might benefit?
Yeah, it's tough, and I want it so bad. That it's hard to tone down that aspect when I expect something out of myself and something I can do and I do regularly in practice, and I've shown it. And there's sometimes, obviously there's a couple times in the games where I've missed, and maybe letting it affect me too much. So just trying to, the best quarterbacks are the ones that can forget about the previous play and move on to the next. And guys make mistakes, guys make missed throws. It's how we bounce back from it that makes us who we are, and that's what we're looking forward to do. I'm excited to get out there on Sunday and get the ball to our guys.
Is there a guy in the huddle that can reach you in that moment? Can one of the guys in particular say?
14.
I thought so.
Yeah, he's always on me, so he keeps me up pretty good.
Does he initiate that balance of maybe helping you out, or do you go to him for it?
No, he initiates it, and he can see when I'm being maybe a little too hard on myself. But trying to be loose, trying to be light, and we had a good practice today, and just looking forward to going out and executing.
What's your mental process?
I wish you guys could have saw that. That's kind of how we do it. We have fun. At the end of the day, it's football, and same game that we've been playing as a kid. And sometimes you gotta remind yourself that the reason why I play this game is to win football games and to have fun while I'm doing it, because it is such a blessing to come out and do what we do each and every single day, especially for the organization that we're here with. So. Just fortunate enough to have the guys on the team that we do and go out there and put forth our best foot every Sunday, Monday or Thursday, and looking forward to this one on Sunday.
Davis Webs, does he keep some life for you?
He tries to. Yeah, we have fun.
Emmanuel talked about bringing positivity, and you talked about talking to the team earlier this year and what he brings experience-wise. But what's it like having a guy bring that kind of backyard football mentality that just, always keeps it positive and just likes to go out there and have fun?
No, it's great. And you see the plays that he's made so far for us, and not just in the passing game, that run that helped spring Devin free in that second play of the game, second offensive play for us. He went down, his block was blocked by somebody else, and he found work and was able to spring Devin free there. So it's just the little things that sometimes people miss, and it's not going to go on the stat sheet. It's the juice. It's running downfield, like I said, and finding work and finding somebody to block. It's running the seam that he knows he's not going to get the ball in, but he opens it up for someone right behind him. He's just the type of guy that he's super selfless, and he just wants to win. He wants to help this team win any way that he can, and it's a blessing to have him on this team.
Watching from afar, Logan Thomas and kind of his career trajectory and everything, how impressed are you with what he's been able to do at tight end?
I miss him. I talk to him actually quite a bit still, and it's been awesome to kind of see what he's done. His family's awesome, and he's made some unbelievable, plays. And I back when he was here, you saw it. Guys like that are big, fast, and ultimately smart. Those guys usually find a way to stick around in this league. And not only is he sticking around, he's kind of cemented himself as one of the better tight ends in this league, and one of the better guys too. So I got a lot of love for him and his family.